First of all, thank you, Marco, and the team of NOAH for an excellent show. I think we're all exhausted now, like almost to the end, but I will try to give some last energy to the show here. So I'm from Wayout. My name is Ulf. I'm one of the founders. Wayout aspire to bring a way out of the current single-use plastic mess in the drinking water industry. So when we think about drinking water, water in general, we, at least from our side, we see these kind of images quite often. These are obviously the problem or the challenges we're trying to address. And some of the challenges that we see is the water quality in general, and we see that even in our piped water today in most of the countries in the world. We're starting to see PFAS, microplastic, hormones, and new type of chemicals that we can't keep up with the regulations even. And obviously we also see bad water qualities in the commercial side in the plastic bottled water as well. The water scarcity, United Nations says that 1/3 of humanity live in water scarce in regions, which means that they can't get safe drinking water. So they have to get some water that is obviously of some challenges. 50% of the hospital hospital beds in the world comes from waterborne diseases, which means if we bring clean drinking water, safe drinking water to the humanity, we can skip 50% of the hospitals. Plastic waste, 1.5 billion plastic bottles are sold every day, 9% is recycled. The growth of the industry is faster than the recycling industry, meaning that there are more and more plastic out in nature every day. It's snowing microplastic in Antarctica. You have microplastic in the bloods of humans and also in the Mariana Trench. Transport is another issue, not only from an environmental perspective, but also from a cost perspective. We have our commercial center in Dubai. I often see bottles of Voss from Norway or Fiji water or Evian or whatever traveled all around the world to get to those places. We have developed a full, let's say, concept that takes care of all those problems. So it's we call it from source to mouth concept. So it's the first part is treatment, remineralization. The second part is packaging and also the distribution platform. And the last part is the dispensing of it, all in a total circular way. So the first part is it's a containerized, you could say 20-foot sized microfactory. It's a distributed technology. We are addressing the production in the same way like you do with 5G mast or solar panel. We don't have one nuclear power plant, we distribute the production. So we have one 20-foot size container where we treat, mineralize, and also fill what we call kegs, which are stainless steel, food grade, which means that we don't use any single-use plastic. And then we have our own developed dispenser technology, all connected through our partners, Siemens, and all produced by our partner, Alfa Laval, in terms of hardware. This means that we can control the quality from the source to the mouth. If you compare it to other commercial players, they have a good quality at the source, put it into plastic, and you have a leach of plastic particles. And they say that the people that drinks plastic bottled water approximately get 1 credit card a month in their body. So the current system, when you produce commercial water, looks like this. You have a source, you have a big manufacturing site, you have a transport, a storage, intermediate storage, and then you come to the consumers, and then you have your waste. In our case, we can place it close to the consumers, meaning that we can avoid the first part of this, which corresponds to 60–70% of the cost, meaning that we don't have only impact in terms of environment, but also we are saving a lot of the cost for the bottled water companies. So our client base is then not to compete with the bottled water companies. We're an ingredient brand, and we can help the larger or smaller players with a roadmap or a transition into environmental friendly platform. So when we're speaking about reaching households, offices, and hospitals, for example, we do that through commercial players. Could be Nestle, PepsiCo, Aquafina, or whatever out in the market, where we can offer a platform that is basically comparable to what they have today in terms of our kegs can be loaded on any kind of dispensers today, the same sizes and everything. They just have to address another way of distribute the technology size, and also with a better unit economics. When it comes to larger venues, let's say that you have large campuses, this is obviously an oil rig where we can help even some of the oil companies be a little bit better, at least, to produce their own water on site instead of transporting it by trucks and then boat and then transport back again. So there we can place our unit directly and avoid the middleman and even saving far more cost for them and also environment. And obviously, as it is a plug-and-play system, it's also quite interesting to place in areas what we call access to water. It could be crisis areas. We're in discussion with the government of Ukraine, obviously, and the horrible situations down in Gaza and in West Bank and in Yemen for fast deployment of safe drinking water infrastructure. It's not something that it will be deployed and then will be gone for a week. It will stand there for 30 years. So this is one of the first installations we have in Serengeti. We decided to place it in Rift Valley instead of Silicon Valley and close to the footstep of Lucy to kind of start humanity and do it right this time. This is a place where we avoid 8-hour diesel truck of transport of glass bottles or plastic bottles into the site and back again. And the animals are happy, the nature is happy, the clients are happy, and the consumer of the water is happy because it's better quality. So we have put a lot of attention to our ecosystem. So I mentioned Alfa Laval is our producer of the hardware, even we have the engineering. Siemens is doing all the automation, the IoT clouds, the LCA platforms and so forth. And we have a lot of players in our system that is really helping us out, financing, but also with technology. We can offer our solution as a direct sales, but we can also do it as a service through one of our partners called Captain Energy, own 50% of Siemens and own 50% of our solar panel partner, Jesser Technology from Saudi. So they have built up an SPV where we're putting all our capex, so we can then offer to the client and as a service agreement for that. Obviously, this is a huge market. What we are targeting first is the 5-gallon, you know, the plastic bottle that is 19 liters something, where we have a complete comparable solution. It's just a replacement. It's not even a disruption. So we can really replace it by far better footprint for the environment, but also better economics. But then we can also address later on the bottled water market. Imagine when you're in a hotel and you get 8 bottles in the room. We can instead have a dispenser, control the water usage without spilling half of the bottle when you have been brushing your teeth and then wasting the one part. So we can improve the waste of water, we can improve the economy later on, also going for the bottled water market. This is our current lead funnel. We are in a growth stage. This is from COP28, since COP28, where Siemens decided to showcase our technology at COP, or showcase their technology through our technology. So we have built up since then a lead funnel of approximately $300 million. We are in the scale-up phase, so we are in commercial discussion with all these players. We foresee that we have around roughly 500 units out by 2030, so that's kind of the scale-up phase. We have secured it by production capacities at Alfa Laval and all our industrial players. So now it's up to us to obviously to execute on the lead funnel. And just give you some ideas of the impact here. So one system could be used for 10,000 people. And each of those systems could then say 1.2 tons CO2 per year, 10 million liters of water not wasted, and 14 million plastic bottles, and also a lot of chemicals that we're not using. We are cleaning with ozone technology. So this is just a picture of our cap tables. We are still in fairly good control from the founders. We are VC-backed, we have some industrial players, some angels and family offices, and we are currently raising a smaller round. We call it a Series A anyway. We are asking for 40 million Swedish crowns, comparable to 4 million euro. And we had the ambition to close it in June. We have some of our discussions that have asked for a prolongation into begin mid-September, and we agreed to that. So that's probably where we're going to end. So thank you so much. That's me from Wayout.
So good that somebody's taking care of the big challenges of the world, right?
Of course,
because
somebody has to do it.
There's no other way out, right?
There's no other way out.
Yeah, and the government or OECD or UN, they give you all the support you need?
The interesting thing with government is that, and we have a couple of examples from the Goa government, we have an MOU with the Seychelles government that want to make Seychelles plastic free, Maldives the same, even the UAE where we have our commercial center. The government attract us and ask us to sign agreement with the local business environment because we are a commercial platform, and then the government can solve the issue with plastic without paying tax money, and water scarcity without paying tax money because
So
we're commercial.
instead of recycling, just don't create plastic.
Exactly, reuse.
Wonderful. But they give you also funding then when they put you in touch with?
Mostly it's
Because
an
you have
ask
equity and then you have another funding, which is like the
Yeah,
rollout.
they are usually from the government side. They are willing to give us funding if we start to produce our equipment there. This is a kind of geopolitical game. So we hope in the future that we will also be local when it comes to the production. So we have discussion with the government of Saudi. We have discussion in India and other places as well. But they always want us to manufacture as well something.
Which is hard in Saudi Arabia, for example, with all the desert, right? It's not
Yeah,
so
but
easy.
we have some good partners there, and we are probably going to do the first assembly arrangement. Yeah. So it's not production really, but it's assembly.
Well, great to see you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Shirna, no?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
you say.